Welcome all to the session of sensory words. What are sensory words? Sensory words arise the sense in your writing from unimaginative to imaginative. Unimaginative to imaginative. Now, what is this unimaginative to imaginative? Let me ask a few questions. What does your mind see when you read a text or listen to a text? What do your ears hear when you read a text or listen to a text? What does your mind feel? What do the words of taste do to your mind? What words of smell does your mind smell? Sounds funny, right? Yes, all these words only will tell us what we feel about the text. So, the text should be related to what we see, what we hear, what we feel, and what is the taste and smell. So, those words which arise these senses are called as the sensory words. Let's go ahead. Listen to these phrases or sentences. In the woods, in the sky, through the forest. In the woods, in the sky, through the forest. The sound of the windows, the bees. The sound of the windows, the bees. The heat of the sun, the hair on my back. The table, honey in the jar, pickle on the table. Odor in the lab, smell of the food. So, what idea are you getting when you listen to these phrases or sentences? In the woods, okay, somewhere in the forest. In the sky, okay, somewhere in the sky, when I lift my head, something is happening in the sky. Through the forest, you're maybe walking through the forest or you're going through the forest. So, what idea? They're just bland sentences. Now, let's go ahead and see the next slide where these sentences are written in a different form. Far away in the woods, far away in the woods, up above the sky. All of you must have heard the rhyme in your childhood, twinkle, twinkle, little star, up above the sky, world so high. Through the thick, dark forest, through the thick, dark forest. The crackling sound of the windows, the crackling sound of the windows, the buzzing bees, the buzzing bees, the pinching heat of the sun, the pinching heat of the sun, the silky hair on my back, the silky hair on my back, the rough table, the rough table, sweet honey in the jar, sweet honey in the jar, spicy pickle on the table, spicy pickle on the table, pungent odor in the lab, pungent odor in the lab, aroma of the food, aroma of the food. So you have seen there is a change entirely. Your mind is making a picture, there is a symbol in your mind while reading the second part of the sentences, while that picture or that symbol or imagery is not formed while you are reading the first sentences. Far away in the woods. When you read the sentence, you understand that somewhere inside the forest you are traveling or you are moving or something is happening up above the sky. We all know that the sky is up above us, but but when you mention up above, then you are making it very clear to the listener or the reader that something is happening much, much beyond your sight through the thick, dark forest. Just mentioning a forest, you will understand that there are some trees, but when you mention thick, dark forest, then you will understand a image forms in your mind that the trees are very close to each other, and the branches are fall or forming a canopy, and they are not allowing the sun rays to pass through them. That's the reason the forest is dark. So these kind of imagery and symbols form in your mind when you add the sensory words. The sound of the windows, it's just the sound of the windows. The crackling sound of the windows, so you will understand crackling. Krrr. So that kind of an image, that means it would have been very cold or there would have been some snow falling. So that's the reason the windows are crackling and they are moving very vigorously. The buzzing bees, so if the bees are just moving, and if you don't mention buzzing, you will not understand that they are making a sound while they are moving. And this can be used as a metaphor too. He is a buzzing bee. That means he is continuously moving, making sounds. Okay, now let's go to the next sentence, which is pinching heat of the sun. So, this is actually a feeling. How is the sun's heat? It is pinching your skin. So, when you understand that the the heat of the sun is uh, so high on your skin that you feel it as if it is pinching you. You are hurt because of the heat. The silky hair on my back. The silky hair can also be altered with the rough hair on my back, the brown hair on my back. So, the curly hair on my back, all these words will add to the senses and will make you understand how the hair is of a person. Otherwise, it's just a hair. The rough table. How is the table? The table is smooth, the table is rough, the table is curved, okay, the table is thick. So, different words will arise the sense of feeling of how the table looks like or how you feel when you touch the table. Sweet honey in the jar, sweet gooey honey in the jar. You can use the word gooey also because honey is always very sticky and it's thick. It falls when you lift it in a spoon. So you can use these words, sweet gooey honey. As soon as you say sweet gooey honey, a picture forms in your mind that yeah, when you taste it, it is sweet and it is gooey because when you touch it, you have a sticky kind of a feeling. Spicy pickle on the table, that means it arises your sense of spice. It might be salty, it might be sour, it can be spicy, it can be full of spices, which is red chilies or green chilies, and it arouses your tongue's taste. So that's how your taste is enhanced when you eat a pickle. And the same taste, how will a reader know or how will a listener know that you have got the taste? It is through these sensory words. Pungent odor in the lab. So the word pungent odor, how is the odor? It is very bad. Usually in the lab, there are many chemicals, and when the chemicals are continuously evaporating, you have an odor, and that odor is unbearable at times. So that's why it's not a very fantastic odor where you enjoy. It's not refreshing. It is pungent. The opposite of it is refreshing, or you can also use the aroma of the food. So when you have good refreshing perfume, So it's not like that in the lab. It is pungent. You don't like it. So that is why this word pungent will describe how the smell of the lab is. Aroma of the food. So when the food is cooking, you get the smell of the spices put in the food, the smell of the food cooking. So all this has to be described with the word aroma of the food. Now